like to come to our studio and see a live taping of this show, then just log into Second Life, create an avatar, contact me, Zoltan Mint, and we will get you here to the studio. Let me tie my shoe here again. The other thing that you can do is watch us live on a live stream on Hitbox. Just go to Hitbox on your internet provider and look for us Wednesdays, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. You can do the clock math on that depending on where you're living. But anyways, we do stream live there, and that's every other Wednesday at 10 o'clock. And finally, you can catch this show on YouTube. Subscribe to the Angry and Ornery Show on YouTube, and you'll get notifications when the new show is ready to be watched. We put those up every couple weeks, usually on Friday or Saturday, sometimes earlier. But regardless, you can go there and see all of our shows. There is, 2 seasons now, more than 2 seasons, almost 2 seasons. Anyways, there's a lot of shows to watch. Let us get our cohort in crime out here. Mr. Lionheart, sir. Everyone's watching to see if you'll get the Oscar for Best Walk Across the Stage. Oh, you're standing at a table. Oh, now you're too close to me. Get away from me. All right, that's good. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you. I did the time math, as you said, to figure out when to be here.
Oh, good.
Yes.
I'm horrible at time math. Are you?
Yeah. No.
No?
No.
All right. Well, anyways, this is a very special show.
Is it your last?
It isn't. Although sometimes I dream of that, how to get out of this every 2 week nightmare with you.
All you have to do is rip up your contract with the devil.
I'm not. I did not sign any contract with the devil, and you're not the devil either. You're just an old drunk. So stop thinking things like that.
Hey, I'm not old.
Okay. Anyways, tonight's is a special show. This is our Academy Award Oscar show. As you know, the Oscars are coming up in a couple of weeks. So we only film every 2 weeks, so we had to jump in and get this over with. So this is our second year at doing it. I believe last year, because I am a man of honor, I will say that I believe you did have more correct answers, Lionheart. Isn't that the truth?
Dude, I don't remember what I ate for breakfast anymore.
Yeah, well, you had like 1 or 2 more than me, right? So this year...
Go ahead. And it wasn't in the major categories. It was like, I got like sound editing, you know?
Right. Best gaffer in a comedy or something. Anyways, this year I'm going to try to rectify the situation and do a little better, because I actually seen most of the films nominated, and... although there's 1 or 2 that I haven't, that I'm really looking forward to and probably will this weekend. So we have a lot of ground to cover. We're going to have a seat now and get right to it. How's that?
Okay, if you say so.
Well, if I said, jump off a cliff, would you?
No.
Okay.
No.
Damn.
I have too much to live for.
Do you? What?
What?
I didn't think you had anything to live for. Oh, that's right. You have. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I know.
Shut
well,
up.
Lionheart
Shut up.
and Love. All right. We won't get into it, but we'll keep the personal things out. But isn't your significant other going to watch this show, or at least see it on YouTube? Well, here's a shout out to her. Hello, and I hope someday to meet you. All right, so we are going. She's not real.
She's in my head.
That's what I thought.
She's a fantasy.
Well, hey,
Yes.
whatever makes you happy and gets you through life, right?
Yes.
All right, well, let's jump into this, because we are going to do all the categories. We're going to do them very, very quick. When we get to the top
I don't
four,
do anything quick.
Oh, my. When we get to the top 4 or 5, we will slow down and talk briefly about why we chose, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Movie, and Best Director. But right now, we're not going to talk much about the other ones. This is just for record keeping, just know who's going to win, Lionheart and I, or I, in the actual showing of the Oscars. So, all right, so going from the bottom to the top, we start with the best writing for an original screenplay. The nominees are Bridge of Spies, Ex Machina, Inside Out, Spotlight, and Straight Outta Compton. I picked Inside Out, the animated film. What did you pick?
I picked Ex Machina. It's not Machina. It's actually Machia. But anyways.
Okay, well, I think you're wrong, but we're moving on. Best Writing Adapted Screenplay. The Big Short, Brooklyn, Carol, The Martian, and Room. I'm going with The Martian because I've seen it, matter of fact, just in the last couple of days, and I really think that it was great writing. Your choice?
I'm going with The Martian only because of the fact I think they've got to give it something.
All right, we're going to go on to visual effects. Tough category for science fiction freaks like me and you and several people in the audience. Arden. Visual effects, Ex Machina, Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, The Revenant, Star Wars The Force Awakens. Of course, we'd love to pick the Star Wars, but I don't think that's going to happen. Instead, I'm going to go with Mad Max. I think it was excellently visually beautiful.
Ditto. I actually
Well, how are we going to have a contest if we all agree, right?
Well, maybe, I don't know.
Well, Sound mixing.
We didn't agree on writing, so...
Right. Sound mixing. Bridge of Spies, Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, The Revenant, Star Wars The Force Awakens. I'm going with Mad Max. The sound blew me away.
Max. Sorry.
That's confusing. Max. Sound editing, Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, The Revenant, Sicario? Or is it Cesario? Star Wars The Force Awakens. I went with Star Wars on this one because I thought it actually had good sound.
I went with Max. Mad Max.
Then short film, live action. Didn't see any of these. I'm trying to catch them when they show up on YouTube. Maybe I will over the weekend see a couple of them. Ave Maria, Day One, Everything Will Be Okay. Shock and Stutterer. I went with Ave Maria because it's so pretty.
I went with Everything Will Be Okay.
Short film, animated. Again, I think I've seen some of these as they're tagged into other movies. But anyways, Bear Story, Prologue, Sanjay's Super Team, We Can't Live Without Cosmos, and World of Tomorrow. I went with World of Tomorrow. Sci-Fi Geek, remember?
Yes, I know. I went with Bear Story.
We have production design with Bridge of Spies, The Danish Girl, Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, and The Revenant. For production design, I had to pick Mad Max for that one.
Yeah, ditto. I went with Mad Max as well.
I mean, everybody's got to admit, whether you like the story or the acting or whatever, the production is beautiful. All right, music, original song, Earned It from 50 Shades of Grey. That was one of your favorite movies of the year, I think.
God, I've never seen it, thank God.
Manta Ray, Racing Extinction, Simple Song number 3 from Youth, Till It Happens to You, The Hunting Ground, and Writings on the Wall from Spectre. I went with Spectre because it's James Bond.
I went with Spectre because I've actually seen the film.
I'm going to see it soon, before the Academy for sure. Music, original score. We have Bridge of Spies, Carol, The Hateful Eight, Cesario, and Star Wars The Force Awakens. I think they're going to give it to Star Wars because Williams is getting lots of attention during this, and they had to pay him a lot of money. So,
I went with Hateful Eight because they got the original composer from all the Clint Eastwood westerns out of retirement to write the score.
Cool.
Yeah.
Makeup and hairstyling. Tough category on this one.
Yeah.
Mad Max Fury Road. The 100-year-old man who climbed out of the window and disappeared. That's the name of the movie. And The Revenant. Now, the obvious choice for me would have been Mad Max, but I went with The Revenant because, oh my gosh, did you see what Leonardo looks like after he gets mauled by a bear?
No. That's what he really looks like. It takes makeup to make him look normal.
Who did you go with?
I went with Mad Max.
And we have Best Foreign Language Film. Didn't see any of these, sorry. Embrace, and one of them's Hungarian, which I am, so I don't know. Anyways. Embrace of the Serpent, Mustang, Son of Saul, Thebe, A War. I went with A War.
Why? I went with Son of Soul.
Because, you know, it has nothing to do with Better Call Saul, right?
Right.
Film editing, The Big Short, Mad Max Fury Road, The Revenant, Spotlight, Star Wars The Force Awakens. Beautifully edited, Mad Max got my vote.
Mad Max as well. I'm hoping it wins this year. I hope they don't poo-pooed the sci-fi film.
Documentary, short subject. May have seen some of these on the internet. Body Team 12, Shao, Beyond the Lines, Claude Lanzmann, Spectres of the Shoah, A Girl in the River, The Price of Forgiveness, and Last Day of Freedom. I went with Last Day of Freedom.
I went with Body Team 12 because it sounds like a porno.
It's probably
What
some
did you go
horrible
with?
film. It's probably some horrible film about, handicapped people or something like that.
I like
Documentary feature. Amy, Cartel Land, The Look of Silence, What Happened, Miss Simone, and Winter on Fire, Ukraine's Fight for Freedom, which I went with because I thought, well, that's very topical, isn't it?
That's why I went with Cartel End, personally.
We're skipping directing. We're going to hold that last. Costume design, Carol, Cinderella, The Danish Girl, Mad Max Fury Road, and The Revenant. Had to go with Mad Max there.
Ditto.
Cinematography. Now we're getting there, aren't we?
Oh, there
Carol,
we go.
The Hateful Eight, Mad Max Fury Road, The Revenant, and Cesario. I went with Mad Max.
I did not.
You went with Hateful Eight.
I went with Hateful Eight. I really did.
Which I know you enjoyed immensely.
I did.
Animated feature film. I can't pronounce that. Anomalisa? Is that
Okay.
pronounced? All right.
That works.
Boy and the World, Inside Out, Shaun the Sheep movie, When Marnie Was There. I really, really wanted to see Shaun the Sheep movie, but man, it came and went so fast, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Well, I went with Inside Out.
I actually went with Shaun of the Sheep, just because going with
Shaun
what
of
they
the
usually do.
Sheep?
Well, that's
Shaun
one of their
the
films.
Sheep.
Well, no, one of their films is actually called Shaun of the Sheep, and that was their last one. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It really was. Look it up.
All right. Now we're
Google
getting into the biggies. Are you ready?
Yes.
Actress in supporting role. Jennifer Jason Leigh, The Hateful Eight. Rooney Mara for Carol. Rachel McAdams for Spotlight. Alicia Vikander, The Danish Girl. Kate Winslet, Steve Jobs. So now you get into these situations where it's not necessarily the best performer, but there's also maybe a little politics involved, right? Who deserves it? Who, that kind of thing. Which not in this category, but certainly in the next category, there's somebody that is going to get it because he deserves it. But anyways, I went with Rachel McAdams for Spotlight because I think she's kind of a hot property right now. She's making a lot of movies, and the Oscars like that kind of thing.
I went with Jennifer Jason Leigh for Hateful Eight. If you saw it, you would know it. Why? So.
Right. So, acting in a supporting role. Christian Bale, The Big Short. Tom Hardy, The Revenant, who I heard is terrific in it. At some points, he even stands out above DiCaprio. Mark Ruffalo for Spotlight. Mark Rylance for Bridge of Spies. And Sylvester Stallone for Creed. So my pick is going to be...
both.
I picked Stallone because I think he's done so much in Hollywood that this is his one chance to actually get nominated. Here it is. Well, go with.
I went with Stallone because I think they're going with the whole thing of they realized over all the years when Rocky was nominated that they screwed him over, and so they're going to at least give him Best Supporting because he's been winning all the SAG awards and everything else. So
exactly, right. And a lot of my choices are based on the Golden Globes, which just aired a few weeks ago too.
Right.
So, anyways, all right. Now to the top four. We got directing. The movies for directing is The Big Short, Mad Max Fury Road, The Revenant, Room, and Spotlight. So The Big Short, Room, and Spotlight are very, very different than Mad Max Fury Road and The Revenant, as the fact that they're not necessarily action films.
Right.
They're more drama-oriented. Is the Academy tired of these long, sleepy dramas, these arty films? Are they going to go with a science fiction movie or with a wilderness mountain man survival movie? I had to think about that for a while, and the direction from what I've seen, and I've not seen The Revenant yet, but just the clips that I've seen, holy crap, he has used brand new styles in filming that are mind-blowing. Going over cliffs, fighting a bear, riding down rivers, fight scenes, just angled camera angles that are unseen before. So I think he's got a really good shot at it. It may not get Best Movie, but it's going to get directing. So I picked The Revenant as Best Director.
Okay. I, much like your decision, but I went the opposite direction. I went with Mad Max because just think of how complex all those shots are. And people have to remember, they did 90% of it, was it? With actual practical effects. That means there were real people driving vehicles, real stuntmen. Do you know how hard that is to choreograph and do everything for
a moving camera? I mean, the camera had to drive in a car along next to him.
Yep, I went with Mad Max. So,
well, we have a partial. We're partial to these kind of movies. So, I probably will see The Big Short, Room, and Spotlight. It's not like I'm discounting them. It's just at this point they're really hard to find at theaters, and of course they're not going to drop on disc for a long time. At least I don't think any are out on disc yet. Okay, so moving up to the much more bigger categories. Let's start with actress in a leading role. Cate Blanchett for Carol, Brie Larson for Room, Jennifer Lawrence for Joy, Charlotte Rampling for 45 Years, and wow, I can't pronounce her name, but I believe it's Saoirse Ronan for Brooklyn. I went with Jennifer Lawrence for Joy, and the reason why is Jennifer Lawrence is beloved right now in Hollywood. She's easy to work with. She's smart. She's interesting. I mean, now that she's climbed out of those dreadful
Hunger Game
movies, she's actually breaking loose and she's taking chances. She's doing a lot of little tiny films, a little, small budget type of movies and all.
Right.
And I really think that the Academy is going to appreciate that kind of risk taking that she's doing. Plus, don't forget, she mouthed off about how female actresses should be making the same as male actors, and Hollywood. Well, her peers love that. So she's made a lot of friends. I know you shouldn't pick on political beliefs, but the movie's good too. And I think she's a pretty damn good actress. I'm giving it to her based on the category.
I'm kind of pulling the supporting actor card here. I think they're going to give it to Charlotte Rampling. Yeah, she's one of those, been to the prom many times, never been prom queen, if you know what I'm saying. Right. So I think this is their, hey, this might be our last chance to ever do it. Let's give it to her type thing. So I think that's where that's going to go. I think they're going to give it to Charlotte.
Okay.
Because also, if you think about it logically, it's the only thing that 45 Years is up for.
And the tragedy of this is they're all very good actresses, and none of those movies are gigantic box office hits. No. When you look at the leading role movies that the actors are in, the male actors, those are huge, big box office. So are we still to that point where the male leads are bringing bigger audiences in?
I don't know.
You know, but you're afraid to say.
I'm not. We've already had too much politics going on with this Oscars, so.
All right, so we move on to actor in a leading role. We have Bryan Cranston for Trumbo, Matt Damon for The Martian, Leonardo DiCaprio for The Revenant, Michael Fassbender for Steve Jobs, Eddie Redmayne, The Danish Girl. This is really tough. This is probably one of the hardest of all the categories. All we have left is Best Picture, but this is probably harder than Best Picture. And I think you and I always go into fits when we argue about this particular category, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
So, I love Bryan Cranston. I haven't seen Trumbo. I want to see Trumbo. It looks terrific. I think Bryan Cranston's probably one of the best living actors out there anywhere, TV and or movies. I can't wait to see him in it. Matt Damon, I just watched The Martian a couple nights ago. Loved it. I thought he was great in it. It felt a little like Gravity, the movie Gravity, but it's science fiction with an emphasis on science. Great role for him. Leonardo DiCaprio, you gotta love Leo. I mean, he's making movie after movie after movie that is interesting. He changes his whole persona. He's a different character and actor in every film. He's a strong leading role. Somebody compared him to like our modern day Clark Gable, and he can play Clark Gable really if you think about it. There's dyed his hair. Anyways, so I do like him, and I think The Revenant is going to be one of my favorite movies of 2015. I've seen so many clips of it. It looks so good. Michael Fassbender, I don't think he looked like Steve Jobs, but I think he did a great job. Apparently, his performance outshined the fact that there was little resemblance, but I guess near the end he did. And then Eddie Redmayne, he won last year, right?
Yes.
You're gonna have to reset your mic there, Mr. Lionheart, because it's gone wonky. So while you're doing that, I will say that my pick for Best Actor in a Leading Role is going to be with Leonardo DiCaprio for The Revenant. It's a tough choice. I really like Cranston. I really like Damon, but I think the Academy is going to go with Leonardo this time. It's been a few years. It's a big movie. He's a big star, and that's going to please the greatest number of viewers that night. Are you back, Lionheart?
I am here. Do I sound okay?
You sound fine. Who are you going to pick?
Okay. You know what? I looked at this list, and I think when the Academy looked at it, they probably went Bryan Cranston, won too many awards through everything else, and they crossed him off the list. I think they went. Yeah, I think they went with looked at Matt Damon and thought maybe perhaps too young, too green. Leo, it came down to Leo and Michael Fassbender for me, and I thought long and hard about it, and I think they're going to give it to Michael Fassbender. Really? Yeah, because a lot of the critics love that movie, and it's like you said, how they said how fantastic he is, but it was also a box office flop. It literally lasted a weekend and made nowhere near its money. So
it didn't make as much as they thought it would. That's for sure.
Right. And so, yeah, that's why
I'm wondering if Steve Jobs was a supporter in the Academy, and they're going to, give that movie a nod in the only way they can, and that is in the way of actor instead of best movie, because it's not. They didn't do anything. Best movie.
They didn't do anything for Ashton Kutcher when he played the same exact role in the film Jobs. So, who knows?
Right. Well, okay. That will lead us to our final category, which is Best Picture. And that's the whole reason we come, kids, isn't it? The Best Picture. And as you know, the Academy has doubled the number of nominees. So there is, 8 now? Or more? 9 now? Anyways, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Best Picture includes The Big Short, Bridge of Spies, Brooklyn, Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, The Revenant, Room, and Spotlight. So when you look at that list, Lionheart, you know that there's a couple of those that jump off the page. 99% of the people watching the Academy Awards have not seen and will not see Spotlight, Room, Brooklyn, Bridge of Spies, and The Big Short.
Well, so you got to remember, Bridge of Spies, though, was the big last brainchild of Spielberg and Tom Hanks.
Right. But
I hate both of them.
It kind of fell into obscurity.
Yeah, it did.
Not like, the 3 movies that jump off the page, Mad Max, The Martian, and The Revenant, are on people's tongues. You talk today, and, everybody can talk about it. They've probably seen it. They want to see it. They've watched it on DVD, whatever, So I think, does that affect the Academy's choices? Probably not, but I think that's a big factor in this. And so I went with one of those big 3. Did you?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And I saw a lot of other critics' picks as well before the show tonight, and they also went with one of those 3, kind of ignoring this, the more dramatic, artsy films. But anyways, I want to go with The Revenant, which I think is going to win both director and both actor and both Best Picture. So I took a gamble and I put my all my eggs in one basket here. I think The Revenant will win Best Picture for 2015.
I don't think it's going to. You know why? Because I liked The Revenant the first time I saw it 20 years ago as The Edge with Anthony Hopkins. Same exact film. Or the film in the 70s called Grizzly.
Dan Haggerty from Grizzly Adams just died. Poor guy. Anyways, go on.
I think The Martian is too intelligent for most people.
It is.
So I think we have a younger Academy now. We have a lot of younger actors who are coming in. A lot of the old are leaving, and we're getting a lot of this fresh blood, like Jennifer
You put
Lawrence.
all your eggs in the same basket, too.
Yes, I did. And so I'm going with the visually beautiful Mad Max Fury Road as Best Picture. And you know what? I think it's going to win.
I wanted to go with Mad Max too, but here's my theory behind not going with it. I think Mad Max is a younger movie made but for younger people, and the Academy is getting younger, and they want to appeal to the younger people, to get the old stodgies out there and get more life into the show. However, sometimes they throw in a movie. Sometimes it's a science fiction film or a comedy, just for contrast. They're not necessarily using it as like the best movie of the year, because I'm not quite sure if Mad Max is the best movie of the year. It's certainly one of my favorites.
It won the Critics' Choice and everything else. So.
But did it change your life? I mean, did it change your view of things?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Because you know why? Because it renewed and revitalized a very dead genre, including a very dead series with the Mad Max series.
Right, but these other films that it's up against, they're message movies. They're movies that make you feel better about yourself, or I
don't want to feel better about myself.
Yes,
I want to be enjoyed.
That. You want to be a killing machine out in the desert, just raping and killing and pillaging, don't you?
I live in the desert.
There you go. you drive around in the desert and you think you're Mad Max, don't you?
No. Everybody calls me a Mort Joe. So
isn't it ironic? You live out in the desert and pick Mad Max, and I live in the cold northern climes and pick The Revenant.
Well, haven't you been attacked by a bear before?
I have been attacked by. It wasn't a bear. It was a. Never mind. It was a man that was bear. But anyways,
were you at a furry convention?
No.
Were you at the yiffing pile where they were all... Okay, never mind.
Yikes. Anyway, so that is our Oscar picks for 2015. You are all welcome to watch the Oscars coming up. Do you have a date on that, by the way? Oh, yeah, we do have a date on that. That would be February 28th. What?
Chris Rock is hosting.
Right. February 28th. So we actually have a show between now and then, but we either have a special guest next time. I think we have a special guest, but if we don't, we're going to do our bad picks from 2000. Or
I can have a brain aneurysm between now and then. Who knows?
I thought you already had one. Wouldn't that explain how you behave?
No.
Oh.
That's the alcohol and the drugs.
Oh, I see. You just admitted that on because the show's over. This is what we usually do. We stand after the show's over.
Nobody knows who I really am.
You did. I guess you should know that I've been actually putting your phone, your real name, and your social security number on all of the end credits for this show.
Oh. Is that why I've been getting all those royalty checks from YouTube and Hitbox? Oh, thanks.
But those are from a African king in Namibia or something, isn't it?
No, they're actually sending me money instead of wanting money from me.
It's not real money. Nigeria,
yes,
that's it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. It was nice to see some old faces out there, probably attached to old bodies, right? If you like this show, get on Second Life. Come and watch us live, because afterwards we have this giant party where we all get drunk. Not really. And then you can catch us on Hitbox. It streams live, and that's free, and that's fun if you don't want to get on a 3D virtual environment situation. And then, of course, watch us on YouTube, because then we put in colorful graphics, and then I add silly things at the end about Lionheart and how he's continuously constipated. So what does the winner get here? If whoever gets the most right, what do we get?
A back rub.
Virtual back rub, or are you going to actually fly into my part of town and
No, you fly out here. Give me a back rub.
I think
I'm
we
gonna
do the
win.
same thing we always do, and that is I will be forced to watch a movie of your choice if you win, and vice versa. Right?
Yes.
Agreed?
What did you watch last year? What did I make you watch last year?
Barbie does Dallas, I think it was something like that. Bambi does Dallas? I can't remember.
Dude, that's just wrong.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching our professional and high integrity filled show. I hope you all enjoyed it. And so you watch those Academy Awards and find out how many you get right. So anyways, thank you. Good night. We'll see you all in the movies.
Good night.